Welcome to the Age Gracefully Show with Dr. Michael Grossman, the well-known anti-aging stem cell and regenerative medicine specialist, best-selling author, and founder of the OC Wellness Clinic in Irvine, California. Each week, he shares the latest information to help you look and feel your best so you age gracefully. And here's your host, Dr. Michael Grossman.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Grossman. Welcome. I'm an anti-aging specialist, and I'm going to talk today about the anti-aging diet, how to live longer and healthier through healthy eating. Having practiced medicine for over 40 years, we've gone through a lot of different stories about what's going to make you healthy. So when I was a young medical student, it was understood that margarine was the way to go, that eating margarine was much better than butter, and everyone was eating margarine. And that was the new health thing. Butter is bad, margarine is good. And then it took 20 years and we found out that margarine is probably worse than butter. We've gone through a lot of different phases of health over the years. When I was a medical student, I asked the doctors there in medical school, gee, it seems like diabetes could be related to eating sugar. And they laughed at me. Funny, because everybody knew that diabetes was a genetic disease. And the idea that diabetes was caused by eating sugar was laughable. Well, it turned out that I was right, but it took a long time to figure that out. So we have made a lot of progress in diet, and I want to go over what we know for sure, research-wise, is good for you. And then there's some things that are, controversial about what's good and what's not good. But let's talk about what we know. So first, we know that for longevity, preventing diabetes is real critical. And there are two kinds of diabetes. You have the type 1 diabetes, which is a genetic autoimmune phenomenon that has nothing to do with what you eat. It is, we don't know exactly why it happens, but it seems to be a genetic quirky thing. And type 1 diabetics, they can get it when they're very young, when they're 5 or 10 or 15, and they can be very slim and fit and exercise and eat healthy. It has nothing to do with that. Type 2 diabetes is the type of diabetes that directly relates to the kind of food you eat and being overweight, and that is something that happens over time. People become more prone to diabetes as they get older. You have to be 40, 50. You're more likely to develop diabetes. But we can tell when you're getting diabetes way ahead of time. You don't have to wait until you actually have diabetes. So you can go to your doctor and ask for hemoglobin A1C test, average blood sugar over the last 2 months. If it's below 5.7, you're in good range. If it's above 6, you're in the diabetic range. You can get fasting insulin levels. Insulin levels increase in diabetes, and eventually increases so much that you can't reverse the effects of the insulin resistance. And when that happens, then you move into the diabetic effects. Your body keeps raising insulin levels, and it keeps the blood sugar down, but then it can't do it anymore. You get diabetes. So we can see this 10 years before you get diabetes. So you want to know how you're doing way ahead of time. And to reverse the diabetic effect, it's diet and exercise. Very simple process and very clear cut how to do it. You want to eat less sugary things, less sodas. Sodas, whether they're diet-free or sugar sodas, are bad for you. We know that diet sodas increase the likelihood of diabetes, even though there's no sugar in it. The effects of these make-believe sugars is very bad. The only diet sugars that are helpful are the ones that have stevia or truvia. They're made from flowers, they taste sweet, and they don't cause diabetes, but all the other ones are not good for you. So you want to eat into sugar right away. So if you eat white bread, it turns into sugar right away. If you eat whole grains, not so much. Eat white rice, turns to sugar more quickly. If you eat brown rice, not so much. We have things like white potatoes if you eat fresh cooked white potatoes, they turn to sugar right away. But if you let the potatoes sit and then reheat them, they turn into resistant starch, and then you don't get that diabetic effect of things turning into sugar right away. We have a variety of vegetables that taste very sweet, like sweet potatoes and yams. They have a sweet taste, but they're resistant starch. They don't turn to sugar right away. Almost any vegetable is good. Almost any bean is good. So you have all kinds of vegetables and beans that you can eat, and that they don't turn into sugar right away. Nuts are good. They don't turn into sugar right away because they have mostly fat and protein. They don't have so much carbohydrate. Now, for longevity, it's probably best to eat the raw nuts rather than the cooked nuts or the fried nuts. So the raw ones are healthier if you're going to eat them. And in general, eating foods that are fresh foods that you cook is healthier than eating foods that are canned. Canned foods are cooked and they can stay in the can for years, but they have lost a lot of the vitamins and nutrients. Frozen is almost as good as fresh. So that would be a good, reasonable choice if you need to have something that is convenient. You got to be careful about microwaving foods, because if you microwave it too hot, it destroys the food and destroys the nutrients. If you just are warming it, it's probably okay. Don't put plastic in the microwave, because the microwave will heat up plastics, and frequently it turns into estrogen-like compounds, and that could be very problematic for eating these bad estrogens. So we have this whole area of diabetes. And then we just have the idea of just eating the healthier foods as I'm describing it. Healthier foods in general, you want to have more antioxidants in your food. So how do we maximize antioxidants? Well, if you don't cook your foods, you get more antioxidants. But if you're eating salads, you're getting basically fiber. The human body cannot break down most salad foods, lettuce and cucumbers and spinach and so on. You can't break it down. You're getting fiber, which is healthy, but you're not getting so much of the nutrients. If you lightly cook the vegetables, you actually get more when you eat them raw. Fruits are not like that. The human body can digest any fruit, and you don't have to cook the fruit. Vegetables, if they're raw vegetables, you can get the nutrients out of the vegetables by putting them into a blender, high-speed blenders, Vitamix or a Magic Bullet kind of thing, high-speed blenders. You cook the foods, you blend the foods into the blender, and the blender breaks down the cell wall mechanically, and then you can get the nutrients out of those vegetables without cooking it. So you can get lots of antioxidants through these vegetables by using these high-speed blenders. So I encourage you to use these high-speed blenders, put in the vegetables with a little bit of water, and then after you get it blended up for just a half a minute or so, then you can add in on low speed the protein powder and fruits. The best fruits with the most antioxidants would be berries. That is by far the best fruit. But there are other fruits that are good. I mean, it's fine to put some apples, some oranges, some mangoes and pineapples. They all have a value, but berries are the most concentrated antioxidants. I love putting beets into a blender because beets have create a lot of nitric oxide. It's great to help the blood vessels to work better. So putting in vegetables, putting in the fruits, adding some protein powder is a great meal to take in the morning or lunchtime. It is a great meal, and it adds lots of nutrients. In my office, I use a vitamin scanner. Vitamin scanner sends a little light through your skin in your hand, and it can reflect back how much carotenoids you have stored in your skin. The body stores carotenoid antioxidants in your skin. If you eat a lot of carrots, you can actually look a little bit yellow or orange because you're storing the carotenoids in there. The level of the carotenoid antioxidants reflect the overall level of antioxidants in the body. And I measure this on my patients frequently, and I can tell how well you're eating. And if you're scoring really good, you're getting like 35,000. Not so good is 25. Really good would be 45. And the studies show that people who are scoring in the upper quarter live 30% longer than people in the lowest quarter. Because antioxidants in general are preventing disease. They prevent heart disease and cancer and other illnesses. So I encourage you to eat healthy, and eating longevity desire is very important. The last thing we'll talk about is eating oils. So when you want to use oils, the healthiest oils would be like olive oil would be a very healthy oil, but sesame oil is good, and there's other oils that are good, grapeseed oil. The oils that are not so good would be butter and oils that are made from meats. So eating red meat, the oil from red meat, the fat from red meat is not so healthy. The oil from bacon and pork, not so healthy. So eating some red meat is okay, particularly the red meat if the animals are being fed healthy food. So when you're eating meat, if you're feeding the animal grains like hay and corn, not so healthy. If you're feeding it live grass, you're getting the omega-3 antioxidants, the omega-3 oils. And the omega-3 oils make that meat healthier. So when you have an animal that's fed outdoors and is eating the live grass, they're getting healthier oils in their body. If the animal is just left inside a barn and they're just eating the hay from 2 years ago, they're not getting the healthy oils. So the quality of meat varies greatly. So if you can get range-fed meat, much, much healthier meat. But in general, less red meat, less animal fat, more natural oil fats are really healthier for you. So we know that exercise is important. As you get older, you need to exercise. So that's not exactly the diet, but exercise is a piece of staying healthy and reducing the likelihood of early death. So these are my thoughts for eating healthy. I encourage you to do that. You're welcome to come and visit with me and get a full anti-aging program for yourself. And my office is 949-222-0232. I'm in Orange County next to the John Wayne Airport. And I'd love to have you come and work with me to be healthy as you're aging. So thanks so much. Look forward to talking to you again. Thanks.
Thank you for watching the Age Gracefully Show with Dr. Michael Grossman. Join us next week for another informative discussion to help you age gracefully. Be sure to visit us at ocwellness.com.